I was kicked out. I was 18. And my mom kicked me out. I ain't decided to leave.
He thought that she really meant it, so he got out.
I think that first night I ended up on somebody's porch, and probably the next day I ended up at my uncle's house.
He was a Muslim, and what he taught me how to do was what he was doing every day. He would go to Third and Market in Center City. Third Market is in that area is the wholesale district in Philadelphia. So it's a lot of places sell you stuff wholesale. So he would take me down there, put a $5 bill in my hand, and I would buy like 3 or 4 pocket knives. It might cost me 50 cents. Then we would go to the neighborhood strips, like I would just walk up Market Street selling pocket knives. I was selling knives for probably like $4 or $5. So I made, you know, $4.50 profit on a 50-cent investment. And then I would get more money. I mean, it got to a point where I was making $300 and $400 a day just selling goods.
That pretty much sustained me for 18, 19, 20. And still, at the same time, I'm still making the rap battles and getting around to the different DJ battles that we were having as a part of B-Force. Ernie Earn was somebody that was in the neighborhood that eventually became a part of B-Force. And I used to go around his house a lot, and his mom liked me. So I asked his mom, could I stay there? And because I still wanted to. My uncle's house was cool, but it was too far away from the bottom. And so I needed to have a place in the area. So she let me live, Mrs. Loris let me live in her basement.
I think Ernie put him up for 2 years.
I was rapping, it was a good time, it was fun, the whole nine, but my whole thinking at that time was, I got to be doing something else. It has to be something more than coming to these house parties every night.
At the time, the group that I was in, they was giving, you know, they figured if they buy me McDonald's at the end of the night that I got paid because I didn't have any equipment. The only thing I needed to own was a mic.
We were the DJs, and back then MCs wasn't as big as the DJs. So he was getting mad because he didn't get paid. So we was like, look, this is our equipment. This is our records. This is my main house right here. It's a 4-way split.
I just thought that when I got on that mic and I start rocking crowds and people start requesting me to be on that mic, that I was a part of this group.
So that's when he got mad and he took off and said he wants to make a record.
My name is Questlove, founder and drummer of the next movement. Discombobulatorbubulator caused so much damn trouble. It's not funny. Back in 10th grade, not at a talent show, but we were rehearsing for a talent show, like the school talent show, and I decided to plagiarize that verse. And by the time I got to hold up a minute, you talking too fast. I'll take this glass. I'll break this glass and kick your damn ass. It was a Christian school. English teachers are like, no. They're like this. Oh man, I didn't get in trouble. They didn't call my mom. Thank God they didn't call my mom.
My biggest accomplishment was being a ghetto welfare cheese eating kid, and to have a wherewithal to say, I'm gonna make a record company in a time where I had seen nobody else do it. I didn't even know if it was at all possible. It wasn't gonna be Breeze and Flash Records of Handmaster Flash of B-Force. But he used all his money for clothes and shoes. On top of my hustling money, I also got a Domino's Pizza job to supplement that. And I took the cake that I made from that and started Breeze Records and put my first independent record out. We all know where it started, and we don't mean to offend, but it ain't New York this time, everybody, 'cause Philly is stepping in. Philly is stepping in. I would go to after midnight and I would hear somebody say, is the Bronx here? And I'm seeing guys raise their hands that I know live down the bottom. You know, it's Brooklyn in the house. I know this guy went to school with me. You know, but so it was like everybody was all enamored about New York. And I'm like, well, nobody's really pumping up Philadelphia. At the time when I put out a record, I think we had Pop Art Records. They had Steady B.
It was Slice, something like that. And it was School D Records.
So I didn't know how I was gonna do it. But I just started researching, went back to what my uncle told me. You wanna learn how to make records? Go get the book. So I don't remember what the books were, but I went to the library and did some research. And found out there was a pressing plant in my city, Disc Makers. I found out that there was recording studios, little recording studios around the city. I just had to find something I could afford. We would go down this club called Fat Cats and practice everything before we went in the studio, because I was like, look, we can't be in the studio because it's by the hour. And at the time, it was just 25 bucks an hour, 4-track studio. I had a Dr. Rhythm drum machine, my Fender Lead 3 guitar, and there was a Juno keyboard in the studio when we got there. There was 2 rap songs. That was It Ain't New York and Discombobulatorbubulator. And on the flip side, I had a ballad. Discombobulatorbubulator ended up being a hit.
Breeze, he was singing MC Breeze, DJ Handmaster Flash. Did his own artwork, everything, all his stuff. Original Discombobulator.
It Ain't New York was going to be a hit just because of the title and the subject matter. But musically, Discombobulator was a better song.
It was like a perfect record. That was like intro, beat, break, chorus, everything. It was a perfect record.
Discombobulator was an upbeat, a dance song. I think that people, what they lose today is that hip hop is a lot more downbeat now than it was. It was a lot more dance oriented back then. So it had the higher, beats per minute, which was important, and it had that heavy 808 bass in it, and that's what people were feeling, that bass, and it just flowed. I mean, it was a song that just rolled on and on. It was just effortless.
2, 1, 2. Yo, I'm old school, baby, and I rap like this. What? Check it out. Yo, I eat MCs for dinner, MCs for lunch. Give me $1 million and I give your ass $1 million man bunch. Check it. I'ma take you all the way back, like this, like that. Check it out. Yo, every morning I wake up, I eat Captain Crunch. I eat the same thing for dinner and the same for lunch. They call it Captain Crunch, but I can't tell, cause every time I eat that shit, it's soggy as hell. One particular morning after washing my bowl, through all my tailor-made sweatsuit and all my gold, through all my black sneakers, I was cooling hard. I got my own transportation, my trans-pass card. Went downstairs and I kicked the cat. I leave him alone to feed close some rats. Me and the cat, we don't get along, because I used to have a hamster and now he's gone. Check it, my name is Breeze. I like to take this time to try to say this rhyme, but every time I just start uttering, I can't stop stuttering.
Of course, it's not politically correct to do the Chinese food verse, but
Chinese food can be real swell if you can go into the place and stand the smell. Yo, everything you buy smells exactly the same. They just switch it around and change the name. Beef yak chow mein and egg foo young. They call it chop suey, but it's chop cat tongue. Sodas taste like shrimp fried rice, and the candy bars are cold as ice. Yo, they sell everything from Snickers to Hers. When they kill the cats, what do they do with the furs? Chinese food scares the shit out of me, but it really doesn't matter when I get hungry. About 1 o'clock I had a stomach ache, so I went up on the Applebee's and pepper steak. Yo, I didn't feel it being rude, so I ordered nice. He acted like he didn't hear me, so I ordered twice. He said $3.49, I reached for my money. I thought to myself, this chick talks funny.
The yin yang thing was the controversy. At that time, the Asians, they felt like he was putting them down, attacking the Asians with the term he had in there.
Do you want a soda? Wet chocolate? The Chinese sound like a broken tape recorder.
Breeze was just giving his adaptation of what we go through in the hood every day.
I said that's okay, cause I'm on a diet, and the soda from here, you know I wouldn't buy it. He got mad as hell, started turning red.
In every hood, you got a Chinese store on the corner that, there were times that they wouldn't be really cool to you. You knew going in, you would try to buy stuff and they would be real kind of mean and just kind of derogatory.
I could not understand a word he said. He said,
Everybody knew the song. Discombobulator. Okay. Everybody knew the song before he even came out with the record, because he did it so much at the parties.
Right.
I mean, every party we did, he did the same song, and the whole crowd was right with him.
Talking too fast. I'll break this glass and kick your Chinese ass. I read about when he started talking bull crap. With my Chinese style, I can stop a damn bullet.
It really didn't become an issue until mainstream media, until outsiders, you know, got wind of the product.